Creating engaging videos is a constant grind, and anyone who spends time on social media knows that everything is basically video content now. You simply cannot dodge this shift in consumption, and honestly, that makes sense because video is hands down the single best way to get anyone's immediate attention. The core problem remains the making part. Good videos absolutely require a solid script, decent footage, clean edits, and a chunk of personal time you rarely ever have. Between back-to-back meetings, a flood of emails, and the million little fires of running any creative project, sitting down to actually edit often feels completely impossible. But here is the great news that changes everything. You genuinely do not have to manage all of that tedious production work yourself anymore. If you have a long recording, a webinar, a podcast episode, a training session, or even just a talk, this tool can turn it into a stack of ready-to-post short clips in mere minutes. Say goodbye to manual scrubbing for those viral moments. No more juggling different aspect ratios, and zero guessing when or where to post next. It basically automates all the complex parts that take forever, freeing you up to concentrate solely on your core ideas and connecting with your audience. Let me walk you through exactly how this actually works. By using a real-world example. Say you recorded a 40-minute mindfulness training for managers and now need snackable clips for social growth. You simply upload that single, long source video to the platform, and the system immediately takes on all the heavy lifting for you. The intelligent auto-editing viral clips feature scans the entire file, detects all the high-energy or high-engagement moments, and proposes multiple short edits for you to use. It's not just random trimming, because it actively looks for spikes in audio energy, meaningful pauses, vocal emphasis, and other strong signals that usually mean a good, shareable clip exists. Before you panic about losing creative control, know that you absolutely still get to review and tweak every single suggested edit before publishing. The system generates a bunch of clip candidates that you can easily preview, delete, combine with others, or fine-tune to perfection on your own terms. Need a perfect 30-second answer to a very common management question that keeps coming up? The automation will find that precise soundbite and isolate it instantly for you to review. What about grabbing a crisp 15-second tip that already includes dynamic captions and a strong call to action? That kind of focused content creation is not only possible, but is also done with just a few clicks on your end. And are you looking for multiple aspect ratios ready for TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts all at once? Vizard automatically outputs these perfectly sized versions, so you never have to waste time re-editing the same footage 3 separate times. A couple of practical steps. I always take first, involve picking a style preset so the AI generation matches my established brand vibe. Calm and minimal for meditative content, for instance. Next, I quickly set up my required brand kit, specifying fonts, primary colors, and where the logo should sit, to ensure every single clip looks entirely consistent. The system applies high-quality captions automatically, and you can easily change the subtitle font, size, and even the animation style within just a couple of clicks. This means absolutely no more frustrating hunting through complex layers or manually messing with finicky keyframes just to adjust the text. Another huge time saver that drastically improves content planning is the integrated content calendar and the auto-schedule function. Once you have a batch of clips you genuinely approve of, you can line them up in Vizard's calendar, set the posting frequency, select your target platforms, and let it publish automatically on your specific schedule. This means you can batch create an entire week's worth of content in about 30 minutes and have it drip out consistently for the next several weeks. For busy creators who genuinely want that professional consistency without living tethered to their phone, this feature is absolute gold. Never again experience that moment of panic wondering, what exactly am I supposed to post today? Now I know what some of you are thinking right now, but can I still fundamentally change the clips after the AI makes them? The answer is an absolute yes. You can easily swap out the background music, replace a specific supporting shot, reword an entire subtitle line, or completely change the video thumbnail. Vizard provides a flexible editor interface where every single clip is treated as its own manageable block. Click it, adjust the timing, replace the music, or even swap in a different camera angle if you recorded multiple feeds. If you want to further emphasize a specific, powerful phrase, you can easily tweak the subtitle animation or highlight certain keywords right there in the moment. It remains super flexible, never acting like some restrictive black box that just hands you impossible to edit, finalized blobs of video. Let's compare this to a few other options, because I get asked this question constantly. Some platforms provide heavy-handed auto-edits that feel strangely robotic and impersonal. Conversely, others give you total control, but ultimately demand a massive investment of your precious time, effectively negating the benefit of automation. Many competing services are also significantly expensive for teams and force you to pay per export or lock the best features behind the highest tier subscription plans. Then there are the simpler tools that lack integrated scheduling or a centralized content calendar, meaning you still end up juggling separate uploads and manual posting across platforms. Vizard finds the perfect middle ground. It offers intelligent automation that is highly configurable, plus scheduling and a content calendar, so you manage absolutely everything in one unified place. It is certainly not perfect for every single use case. If you need full-blown feature film level color grading, you will still use a professional NLE, of course. But for creators and brands who live and breathe social media distribution, this system solves the absolute biggest content creation bottlenecks you face daily. Let me quickly show you the exact, repeatable flow I used for that mindfulness training video. First, you upload the entire long session into the system. Next, you select the Auto Clips option, and you simply let the AI engine analyze all the underlying audio and visual cues within that file. It returns a complete slate of suggested clips, and I usually just scan them quickly to pick the ones that have a clear takeaway or a strong emotional resonance. Then I immediately apply my saved brand preset, tweak a couple of the captions, adjust the in-out points by just a second or two if necessary, add a subtle background track, and select the platform-specific aspect ratios. If I specifically want stronger engagement on a certain clip, I always add a short, direct call to action at the end, like asking for a follow or promoting a checklist. One final small detail that many creators underestimate is the critical importance of excellent captions for every single post. Remember, on any mobile feed, the vast majority of people will watch your video with the sound turned completely off. Vizard's auto-generated subtitles are surprisingly solid, and the subtitle styling is truly essential. Always choose bold, short lines, and a highlight color that perfectly matches your brand identity. I often trim the generated text into punchy one-liners instead of leaving long, complex sentences because short, immediately digestible reads win big on platforms like TikTok and Reels. Another massive efficiency gain comes from the power of batching your creation process effectively. I'll take a single long talk and churn out 10 to 15 different angle clips, covering tips, common myths, mistakes to avoid, or short anecdotes, and schedule them across the entire coming month. That consistent variety keeps your entire channel looking fresh and successfully prevents followers from seeing the exact same message repeatedly in their feed. The integrated content calendar is essential because it helps me visualize the entire posting cadence, so I never accidentally publish 5 similar clips back to back. For teams working together on content, Vizard's collaborative review features become incredibly important and valuable. Multiple stakeholders can review the same project, leave specific threaded notes, and approve clips without constantly passing massive video files back and forth via email attachments. This immediately removes that huge headache of email attachment chaos and makes the entire journey from initial idea to finally published content much smoother. Let me quickly call out a few common objections I hear often and explain why they might not be major issues here. If you are worried about the final quality, remember the AI does heavy lifting, but you are always the one steering the final creative decisions. If you worry about the potential cost, Vizard's transparent pricing is often far more reasonable than paying for expensive, time-consuming manual editing elsewhere, especially when you factor in the reclaimed time. If you utilize multiple different social platforms and despise the resizing process, Vizard's multi-aspect export feature saves you hours of tedious labor every week. And finally, if you're concerned about your content sounding repetitive, the auto detection actually surfaces a lot of natural variety, but you can always manually tweak intros and CTAs to keep things feeling incredibly fresh. One last feature I truly love is the sheer power of content repurposing that this workflow enables for all your existing assets. That long interview or major webinar you recorded last month can easily become weeks and weeks of varied, engaging social content. Guests get highlighted snippet reels, powerful quotes get turned into individual shorts, and your audience sees more touchpoints without you having to record anything new whatsoever. That fundamentally translates to a much wider audience reach across the web, with significantly less recording overhead on your part. So yes, making content is undeniably still work, but the entire creation equation has fundamentally changed for the better. You absolutely do not need to be a professional editor or block off an entire weekend day to create the consistent social content your audience demands now. Vizard expertly handles the most tedious, time-sucking parts, finding the golden clips, handling all the captioning, managing resizing and scheduling, so you can concentrate purely on delivering your valuable message. If you want to finally test this for yourself, simply start with just one long video. Upload it, let the auto-edit process scan everything, pick your absolute best takes, brand them, and schedule the posts. In under an hour of active work, you can have an entire month's worth of high-quality posts queued up and ready to go live automatically. If you found this comprehensive walkthrough helpful today, Please follow this channel for more essential content tips and practical workflow shortcuts. And finally, if you are already sitting on those valuable long recordings, commit to turning just 1 into 10 short clips this very week. You will be genuinely surprised how much extra reach a little smart automation truly unlocks.